Hi, hi Lama, how are you?
Are you the moderator?
Well, I'm the Zoom host for today.
You're the Zoom host. Okay.
Yes, yes. So Lama, this
How
is
are
Lama
you
Kathy.
doing?
Good, just celebrating over here.
I'll ask him later.
Okay, yeah, no, good. Just celebrating over here. Just tons of texts going back and forth. Like,
Bye.
bye,
Hi, bye.
bye.
Good to see you. All right. So yeah, I know. Oh, hey, I forgot to close my closet. I guess I better do that.
Hello, welcome.
Hello. I haven't changed my Zoom background in like, I don't know, some time. Quite some time.
There we go.
Yeah, that does it. That works. Okay, very good. All right. Yes, I have my mouse and my chicken back here, so that's I've got my team. I've got a
They're
team.
very cute. They're very lovely.
Yeah,
They look like Rinpoche with all his little animals.
Yeah, the mouse came from Kempo Karta Rinpoche, and the chicken is Ginger, a character from Chicken Run, who's a bodhisattva. She says, "Hey, until all are free, none are free." That was her message in the movie.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, but my mom, this was my mom's last Christmas present to me, and I didn't get it. She died like 2 days after Christmas and had been so ill the week before Christmas that she was unable to give us presents. But when we cleaned out the closets after she passed away, we found her cache of gifts for everybody for that Christmas. And so there's my spiritual dad and my real life mom.
Oh, that's a lovely story.
They're hanging in there with me. Oh gosh. Okay, how many people potentially will we have today?
Let me take a peek, but it was a nice number.
Take a gander at it.
Yeah.
Oh, right, and I got to get my gong and everything. Okay, I'll put this over here.
A little over 30.
Oh, cool.
Could be joining us for our first session.
Okay.
Hi,
oh,
Tom.
look at
Hi,
hey, look at
Marilyn.
Kitty. Look at the kitty. All
Kitty
right.
meditates too.
Kitty, yes, kitties meditate too. They do. To make sure I'm on the right. Nope, I got to get on the correct.
Boy, long time no see, Kim.
I know. Today is our day to hang out. It's so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to move outside, but I got carried away watching CNN.
I know. Yeah. Oh, it happens.
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of prayer for days ahead.
Yes, we do. Big job ahead.
Indeed. There's a lot lot that needs to happen between now and January, so in lots of ways, so we got a lot to kind of hang in there with. Okay. Okay, 5 minutes to the hour. Good afternoon. I see people are joining us. Hi. It's like, hi, everybody. Yay. So let's see. It might be a small group today because it's everybody is busy on the weekend.
And the weather is gorgeous.
Well, yeah. I misplaced something. Got to go get it.
Lama Kathy, I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you that yesterday or today is day 37 of me chanting on Instagram. So
Way
I
to
only have
go.
about 33 more days to go before I'm 70. Yes.
All right. Way to
Kim, I
go.
don't know if you know I'm doing 70 days of chanting on Instagram
It's
before I
fantastic.
turn 70. So I'm more than halfway there. Ellen's one of them. Hi, Ellen.
Yep,
Oh,
I
and so
am.
is Tom. So yeah, it's been great. It's been nice attendance.
You know, is it possible? You know what? I'm kind of curious about something. Lamo is I am not on Instagram very much. So if you could do me a favor and text me your page on Instagram, I would love to share it with other people. When you can.
Okay, great. I do it once in a while on Facebook. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, we're gathering. I like it. I did not bring my cell phone, and I better have it for timing purposes. I'll be back. Okay. Okay. It's great to see everybody coming to the meditation room. Okay, we're probably going to get started in maybe about, we're going to go to maybe 5 minutes past the hour just to see who else arrives. All right. Yeah, it's like, hi,
all.
Orton, how are you?
Good. How are you, Lama Kathy?
Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, I mean, hey, what a day, right?
That's right.
Is the sun shining where you are?
It is a little overcast, but there is a joyful air in the air.
Yeah, I believe the sun is shining everywhere at the moment.
Yeah, it's possible. It's entirely possible.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Hey, Lama Tom.
I see, hey, hello there. Hello, Lama Tom. I see Chantal is here too. So it's like, hello. I like your picture. Very nice.
Hi.
Yeah, hi, I like the picture. That's a fantastic picture.
I think it got cropped.
Maybe. Yeah. I think we all need a little bit of light heart today.
Can I ask if the first 2 weeks of the Jewel Ornament of Liberation were recorded?
Yeah. Oh yes, they were indeed. Let's get the
Great.
YouTube for that. They were actually posted on a different YouTube. They were published on
Okay, okay,
the Columbus KTC's YouTube.
okay.
So-
I don't think I've marked their YouTube page.
Yeah, I know.
I have their Facebook.
I'm gonna have to
in their
find it. It's
shrine
gonna
room.
take me. It'll take me a minute.
I can ask you in an email and do it some other time if that's better.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. YouTube. Let's see if we can get you. Columbus KTC. Columbus KTC. Yes, we'll be, I believe we're going to be having class number 3. Lama Tama, I think you taught last week. How was, which chapter did you cover last week?
Actually, it was Eric. And
Oh, Eric, that's right. Eric covered last week. You're
And
right.
it was the second chapter.
Okay, good. So then we're moving on to the 3rd chapter now. Okay, here we go, Columbus. La, 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 la. Okay, here we go. Columbus, KTC Columbus. Okay, now let's see if we have, let's see.
I just posted 2 links from the KTC Columbus.
Well, thanks very much. I was having a hard time getting them together. Thanks so much. We'll try to create a playlist for the jewel ornament classes so they'll all be able to be there. Kathy Lamo taught the prequel about the.
No, I didn't. I was sick. You taught something.
Oh, that's right.
I
That's
couldn't
right.
talk.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. You know, I'm getting to the age where I kind of like forgot what I did yesterday. Yeah. Thank you, Lamo. I'm glad. By the way, I'm glad to see you're feeling better. Yay. Right. Yay for improved health. Okay.
Also, Tranggu Monastery, Malaysia has started teaching the jewel ornament. Kempo Choni Rangdrol.
Oh,
Right.
my. That's amazing.
Yeah, he started
with
at
chapter
the,
10 on bodhicitta.
and the other teachings are also on YouTube, the former ones from last spring.
Yeah, this is
So you
good.
just look up Tranggu, Malaysia, and you should be able to find them. They're great.
Mhm. Would that be on YouTube, Lama?
YouTube, yes.
I'll write the name here. I just, by the way, I just posted the address, the general address for the Columbus KTC YouTube page. All of the Sunday talks that have been given since the beginning of our new YouTube account, which is a few months, are up there, as well as certain, I mean, there's several different videos that are up on that site, so you can take a peek at it. Okay, we're at 5 minutes past the hour, so we'll go ahead and convene. Want to appreciate, give my appreciation to all the members and friends of the Columbus Karma Thegsum Choling Tibetan Meditation Center, and thank all of you for all that you've done to help us create this unusual fundraising opportunity. It's consciousness raising and fundraising at the same time. And by doing this 10-day meditation marathon, which, by the way, somebody on Facebook said, you mean there's not somebody actually sitting 24 hours a day for 10 days? That's kind of not right. You should have somebody doing that. Well, we decided not to go that direction with this type of marathon, that it was just going to be to try to get people to commit to sit every day, to add meditation as a lifelong habit. So, and to raise money at the same time. And so I'm sorry to put you on the spot here, but I want to call attention to our Columbus KTC director, Kim Miracle, who's here, and she's the brains of the outfit, and she helped us plan our very first peer-to-peer fundraiser, of which this 10-day series of classes is a part. So if you have a couple of minutes to share a little bit about your connection and what KTC means to you and what this event means to you, I would love to hear from you.
Oh, thank you, Lama Kathy. Well, I'm just like, welcome everyone. And we're so excited that you're here, and so excited, to see that we all have this opportunity to help through this meditation marathon, raise funds for the Columbus KTC rebuilding project, which has been dear to my heart and many others who have been, actively engaged with all of the activity to get this building underway. We can see a building emerging day by day down at the construction site. So, seeing all of this work, really the fruition of this work is great. And also that we're closing on that gap of that fundraising goal that we need to cover the cost of this construction, is just super exciting. So it's been just such an honor and a gift to be part of this process, and really excited for all of the possibilities of what this new building can do for bringing great meditation to Central Ohio and beyond. I think this virtual world has opened up a new way for us to connect with others, and I think we have every aspiration of continuing both in person as well as this virtual approach. So I hope that was okay.
It was fantastic. Yay. Yeah. And I really appreciate so much the work that Kim has done over the last 3 weeks to help us get ready for today's festivities. Between Kim and Chantal, who is also on our call today. Chantal was our designer who designed the website that you all visited in anticipation of coming to these classes. Yes, it's like, yay, and it's like, let's go. Yeah, way to go, Chantal. So thank you so much. And also to everybody here who's been part of our effort since the beginning to create some excitement around this event. This is our first peer-to-peer that we may have done in a very, 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 very long time. So I want to say a couple words about that, and then we'll move into the main body of the program, which is meditation and what meditation's benefits are. I want to say one more thing about the meditation marathon. Since this is new to everybody, the concept is very similar to your local charity operating a 5K fun run, in which they have people participate in the running of the race, and then they have sponsors who sponsor the person running the race. And so both the person who's running the race and the people who support them are gaining benefit from their participation. And so we modeled our program after that, except that instead of running somewhere, we're sitting somewhere. And so what we made the commitment to do was to try to do some meditation every single day for 10 days straight. So we've it's commit to sit, and that this also helps to raise consciousness about the practice of meditation in our community and the role that it can have in health and life. So that's just a little bit about why we did what we did. And thanks to all of you who signed up for the 5 friendly competition teams, which were named after the 5 banners that are part of a set of Tibetan prayer flags. And yes, thanks, to people who have signed up for the banner teams. The blue banner team, right? You got it. All right. Oh, she's team blue. Okay. And so I'm just, delighted. I'm just delighted that we're going to have a little fun with it as well as raising money. So if you are a participant, please remember to, I'm telling you now, she's really going with the blue now. I know it's all I have is a white pad for the white banner team. So this is all I have, but it has blue lines on it. I know, Lama. It wouldn't be a lined pad without the blue lines on it. I understand. So our teams need to work together now so that we can raise money for KTC. So if you have the opportunity to tell your friends and tell your family that you are participating in the Buddhist version of a 5K fun run, and ask if they'll donate $10 to Columbus KTC. You can give them the link to the website, and then they will sponsor your meditation. Now, here's the part that we're not publicizing on the website, but there is one intrinsic value that you can't see. And the intrinsic value that you can't see and that the sponsors can't see is that according to the teachings of the Buddha, when a person makes a donation toward any virtuous activity, whether it's the cancer fun run or the fun sit for a meditation center, they're accumulating virtuous mind state and they're cultivating a virtuous mind within themselves. And so they get an intangible, but definite benefit from benefiting Columbus KTC. So thank you. Okay. Anybody have anything they'd like to add to the discussion about signing up for the meditation marathon? Okay, no, nothing more. Okay. So every day we're going to be doing a support session for people who are trying to take the 10-day meditation challenge. And we want to support and give people the opportunity to get some sitting minutes in, because you can type in your number of sitting meditation minutes or your chant meditation minutes on our website. And so as a result, we want to provide a springboard for you to learn more about meditation and for you to do some meditation with a group. So these 1-hour sessions are going to happen every evening, starting tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. here on Zoom. And you'll be getting information about those Zoom links as we go forward. So in the meantime, the topic for today's talk is why meditate. And so I'm going to give a very short presentation on the whys of meditation and how meditation is beneficial for health and life. So in the world we live in, I think everybody knows that the world we're living in right now is incredibly fast-paced. There's things are happening continuously, and the pace of life is so quick, and the pressure on us as human beings is so great that sometimes it becomes overwhelming. For example, we get followed around at work to make sure we're being productive enough. We have problems within our families of trying to get everything done that needs to be done to run the family, and everything that needs to be done for us on the job and here and there. And so there's a very fast pace, and it's very challenging, and we can feel really anxious sometimes. And so the practice of meditation helps us to gradually slow down the process of thought, and by slowing down the process of thought, begin to open up some space within ourselves so that we can experience our minds in a very simple, direct, and genuine way. Because when we're anxious and stressed, it's very hard for us to be at our best. It's very hard for us to be available for others, and it's very hard for us to be available even for ourselves. So what meditation does for us is it gives us space. It grants us a period of time in which we dedicate ourselves to being quiet, to being away from the noise, being away from the stress and the busyness, and just being with our own basic being. And so this is the theory behind meditation, that when we take time for ourselves and to be quiet, when we take some time to be quiet, we can see ourselves more clearly and we can see the world more clearly. And in so doing, we can increase our capacity for love and our capacity for presence with other people, our capacity for intelligent analysis, and also acceptance of our world and our life, and tolerance and understanding and caring for other people. Empathy arises when we are not stressed. When we're stressed, it's very hard to be empathetic to others. And it's very hard to be empathetic to ourselves when we're stressed. So the theory behind taking time out for meditation is to take time out away from the stressors for just a few minutes so that we can rest our mind. The teachings that brought meditation about say that our mind is the determiner of our experience. The mind determines our experience. Anybody who has ever experienced anything mildly stressful knows how this is true. Because when we're feeling stressed, our body tenses up. We feel pain in our joints. We feel perhaps even a little desperate, a little uncertain, a little shaky, so that our mind has a very strong impact on our body, and vice versa. Our body has a very strong impact on the mind. And those people who are now working on different branches of psychology are suggesting that there is anxiety that is held in the body over time, and that the anxiety that's held in the body over time can change our mental and emotional health, and it can actually also impact our physical health as well. And so in that way, if we want to work with our health and our emotional well-being and our physical well-being, then it stands to reason that we would then work with the mind, which is where all experience happens. Our body conveys information. The body says, oh, it's cold, or oh, it's warm. And our body, oh, you're going to love this. My watch has just reminded me it's time to do my deep breathing. Okay, very good. This is one way where your electronics can actually help you with meditation, but we'll set that aside for now. We'll come back to it in a minute. But what happens to us is that when our body tenses up, then our mind becomes more stressed, and vice versa. So if we can calm the mind, then the body will gradually calm down as well, and vice versa. And so these theories of psychology that say that sometimes stress is held in the body and needs to be released through, which it can be released through physical activity, through acupuncture, through massage therapy, and lots of other methodologies for releasing the stress that's held in the body. But one of the things we can do right now, every day, is to create a space for ourselves to practice quiet and to practice meditation. So that's the why of meditation, by providing ourselves with a space for quiet that is dedicated to quiet, and promoting a technique that allows our mind to quiet down. By pursuing these two techniques, we are able then to bring a little bit more relative quiet into our minds and into our lives. So a lot of meditation techniques work with breath to begin with. Part of the reason for this is that breath is incredibly portable. You don't have to set up a special equipment in order to meditate with the breath. The breath is your special equipment. And so the techniques that we teach at Columbus KTC and that have been taught for 2,500 years have to do with allowing our attention to rest on the breath, and that when our attention wanders from the breath, either wandering into the past, wandering into the future, or busily examining the now, when we allow our attention to return to the breath, when it wanders, this allows us to cultivate quiet within our minds. So when I frequently teach meditation, almost always someone will ask the question, well, wait a minute, isn't meditation clearing the mind so that you have no thoughts whatsoever? And my teacher, Khenpo Karthar Rinpoche, a wonderful Tibetan-born teacher who anybody who met Khenpo Rinpoche knows what a treasure he was. He passed away just last year, at the age of 95. And when he taught meditation, he taught this breath awareness meditation. And he said that breath is portable, breath is easy, but he said it's, he said that the breath awareness is a very easy practice, and it is not aimed at making your thoughts go away. He said, first of all, he said, people who think that you have to clear your mind, he says, I have to tell you, first of all, you can't stop your mind. It's not possible. And because it's not possible, that means you have to learn to work with your mind. Those of you who are fans of the young meditation master Mingyur Rinpoche know that he talks a lot about the fact that it's very hard for us to place our attention on one object, whether it's the breath or a picture of a flower or whatever we're placing our attention on, or maybe a mantra, whatever. Mingyur Rinpoche says the reason that we have a hard time placing our attention on things is because we have what he calls the monkey mind. We have a mind that's very curious and very excited and wants everything and wants to have fun all the time. And in order to practice any discipline of meditation, Mingyur Rinpoche says we need to give our monkey a job. And the job we give our monkey mind, our tendency to run here and there, is we give the monkey mind the job of observing the breath and staying with the breath, so that the monkey at least is occupied for a period of time. So the technique of meditation is to start by placing your body in a relatively comfortable posture, and then placing your attention on the object of the breathing as the breath comes in and goes out. And then the further technique is to notice when your attention has wandered from the breath, and then to gently and with love bring your attention back to the breath for a fresh start. So this is the simplest way of stating the technique of meditation, starting with a fairly stable posture for the body, placing one's mind on the work of meditation with the intention of benefiting oneself and others, and then starting with observation of the breath as it comes and goes, and then redirecting attention back to the breath when it wanders. And so that's believe it or not, that's pretty much the basics of meditation. Now, yes, the posture, you can sit in a chair with your feet flat on the floor. And Khenpo Rinpoche said, when you sit in a chair with your feet flat on the floor, he said your feet should be hip width apart, and that your hands can be placed palm downward on the legs. The palm downwards posture was made popular by the Tibetan teacher Marpa Lotsawa, one of the great translators of our tradition. And it's a grounding mechanism. We're not trying to become spacey, we're trying to become grounded. So we place our hands palm downward. And that helps to ground our thought process as well. Then when we sit in cross-leg posture on the floor, you can sit with your legs slightly crossed in front of each other with a small cushion underneath your bottom. And then pay attention to your posture, your back, making sure your back has all of its nice natural curves in it. A friend of mine who's a yoga teacher said one of the best ways to provide a straight posture without hunched shoulders is to imagine that the breastbone in the center of your body, in the center of your chest, is moving upward. And this gives you a straight posture without the hunch that can hold tension. So now we've built the posture from the legs to the seat, to the back, the shoulders, hands, and arms, because even if you're sitting cross-legged, you can set your hands palm downward on your legs. Your chin can be tucked in slightly, and your gaze can either be cast downward a few feet ahead of you, or your eyes can be closed. Now, when Sister Rinpoche told me that it was okay to close a person's eyes, for a person to close their eyes in meditation, he said some people have they have additional problems dealing with visual input. He said if the person has a lot of problems with a lot of thoughts coming from their visual input, things they see, he said they can close their eyes. He said, but they might fall asleep. He said, that's not the worst thing that could happen. He said, but if you want to meditate, he said, you might start out with your eyes closed and then gradually open them just a little bit. And what you're looking at is not a hole in the carpet or the grains in the wood. You're gazing generally, taking in the entire picture of what's in front of you, not focusing on any point. And then lastly, the tongue can be touched to the upper palate behind the front teeth and flattened a little bit. This relaxes the muscles of the face and unclenches the jaw. So there we have it. Legs, seat, back, shoulders, hands, and arms, chin, gaze, tip of the tongue. To begin with, it's good to just sit in the posture and do nothing. And let the body settle. The next phase is to begin the meditation with what is called the first of the three excellences. Excellent in the beginning means that we bring a nice attitude to the meditation. We think, I am doing this not just for myself, but for the benefit of all. So holding that mental aspiration. Then one begins with one deep breath, breathing through the nostrils if possible and through the mouth if you're congested. Imagining that the breath drops below the navel and deep into the body, then breathing out, and then allowing the breath afterward to come and go naturally. Placing your attention on the breath as it comes and goes. And there are three ways to do this. Some people prefer to follow the breath all the way in, follow the breath all the way out. Some people prefer to only pay attention to the breath as it goes out. And still other people prefer just to be aware of the bare sensation of breath moving at the nostrils. Whichever of these three you like to do, you can do them. They're fine. Following the breath in, following the breath out, only following the breath out, or just the sensation. The next technique to learn, and this will be the last one for our set, is what do you do when your attention wanders? Because what you'll notice when you first start meditating is that you'll start with a period of attention. It might last 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I don't know. It'll last for a short period of time. And then perhaps a thought will bubble up and you'll think about something that happened yesterday or maybe you'll think about something that's happening tomorrow, or maybe you're feeling uncomfortable in the moment. And so these thoughts will come up. And the technique for working with them was described by one teacher as touch and let go. You turn your attention briefly to the thought that has arisen. You can even label it thinking. And then you let it go consciously. Imagine that you let it go. Return your attention to the breath and think that that return is a fresh start for you in meditation. And then again, you reestablish observation of the breath. And then if a thought arises and it doesn't go anywhere and it just disappears, continue. But if the thought grabs your attention away, then you can label it thinking, let it go, and return. So that's the technique, pretty simple. And I'm going to start us with maybe 5-minute meditation, and then we'll have some questions about the technique and what your experience is. But for now, we'll just start with 5 minutes of quiet sitting. I'll get you started, and then we'll go for a few minutes silently. Want to make sure everybody remembers their microphone should be off. Placing the body in the posture of meditation, sitting in the chair or sitting on the floor. Back is straight. Seat is solid. Shoulders are straight. Chin tucked in. Eyes cast down. The tip of the tongue touched to the top of the roof of the mouth. Starting with one deep breath. And breathing out. Then allowing the breath to come and go naturally. Okay. That is a very short session of practice. I'd like to take a couple of minutes and see if you have questions or curiosities about the technique or about your experience that you'd like to share. And you can either type questions down in the chat, or you can also unmute your microphone and ask the question. So how was that for you, and other questions you might have? Yes, Tom?
Yeah, so first question is in terms of the breathing in and breathing out technique.
Mhm.
So you mentioned your technology. So the Apple Watch is set to like 6 to 8 seconds in, 6 to 8 seconds out. And there's some psychology and physiology about that. Has anything ever been said about that? Because you know, when I'm breathing right now, it's like very short, but then is there something
Right.
about time?
That's right. And what I can tell you is what I've learned about this from the Tibetan doctor, Akong Rinpoche, when he was in Columbus in the 1980s. He gave us an instruction about what some psychotherapists call square breathing, which is very much similar to the type of breathing that is the Breathe app on the Apple Watch. It consists of a specific length of time of several seconds breathing in, a specific amount of time breathing out. So when Akong Rinpoche taught us this, he said, you breathe into a count of 5, hold for a count of 5, and then breathe out through the mouth. And that's a specialized kind of breathing that is not meditative. It's not a meditative breathing. It's a calming breath. He said people should do it when they feel stressed. And so I think that the kind of breathing that is part of the watch, and the part of the breathing that's taught in psychology, in order to calm it lowers your blood pressure a little bit, it lowers your heart rate a little bit, and then the Tibetan doctor said you could do this 3 times or 5 times in a row as a way of calming down an anxiety response. That's what he taught it to us for, was for that purpose. Now, meditative breathing is different than this calming breath. Khenpo Karthar Rinpoche, when he was teaching about the breath in meditation, he emphasized over and over again that the breath needs to be natural. The breathing needs to be natural. It should not be artificial in any way. He said, you start with a deep breath. You start with a deep breath and feel that the breath drops below the navel. He said that helped. He called it like a grounding. It's like a grounding, and then you breathe out, and then allow all of the breath that follows that to be natural. I don't know if this answers your question or not.
It does. It looks like Kathy Jackson
Yeah,
might have a
I see
comment.
that yeah, please. I was going to call on Lama, who's a meditation instructor, and also Lama Tom, who's here.
I just wanted to say, Tom, that I've been studying an extra amount of time for 5 months now, doing a lot of pranayama work with Eddie Stern, who created something called the breathing app. I don't know if that's the one that's on your phone.
It's not the same. Yeah.
But he also starts with 6 seconds, but always says everyone is so different, and you really should start maybe at 3 or 4. Because you don't want, this is really very special type of breathing, as Lama Kathy said. So the whole point of meditation is not really a pranayama breathing. Maybe the very beginning, a little extra effort for a moment, the first breath. But after that, it's very natural. This is a very different type of training, just to let you know. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all.
So I'm hoping, thank you, Lama, I appreciate that. And Tom, did that address your question, or is there something else that's kind of like maybe behind, that's like, it's gnawing. Do you have a question?
No, it's just sometimes when I go through guided meditations, whether that's on Headspace or like with other, teachers, and it's like, we're going to take a deep breath. It's like, I'm ready to breathe out. My breathing is different. Everyone's breathing is probably different,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And so I was just wondering, like, is that, that square breathing, or is it just, I like the idea that you pointed out, like maybe it's the idea of just get it grounded first and then just be.
I do think that this was the principle behind the way it was taught to us by the Tibetan teachers, was just to start with one deep breath and then to allow the breath to be natural, because as Lama pointed out, pranayama is its own discipline. It's its own specialized discipline, which has a specialized purpose. In meditation, the purpose of working with the breath is to remain aware and to bring your awareness to the present moment of your experience. Like right now, I have the present moment of my neighbor mowing his lawn, which I think you can experience as well. I love it. He has no idea when I'm teaching, but there are times when I'm thinking he has ESP. Anyway, but so I appreciate you bringing that though, Tom, because I do think that if I can say one more thing about breath, is that I have met people for whom anxiety is a real challenge. And breathing and being aware of breath actually makes them feel a little claustrophobic. So I can understand that that even just saying to someone, allow your attention to rest on the breath and allow the breath to be natural, they're going to say, well, what's that? What's natural? Like they'll feel anxious about it. And so this is why, for that kind of situation, what I've started doing is I've started encouraging people, if they're having that kind of feeling or that kind of reaction, to use some sort of visual object. Like I just got this gong recently, and you could put that on the table in front of you and let your eyes rest upon it. Your eyes can look at it forever, but your attention is going to go over here into the future or over here into the past. And then bringing your attention to the object is and returning again and again is the technique and work of meditation. I hope that helps.
Yeah, I use a stone.
Very good. Yeah, the stone is the small, smooth river stone is it's a technique that's in the Mahamudra meditation manual, right?
Lama Kathy, I had one more thing. Sita Rinpoche has been teaching a beautiful course on the Shift Network, and he emphasized a great deal of, when we breathe in meditation, just try and have it be smooth. Because when your breath is smooth, your mind is smooth, and vice versa. They work go. Sorry to mention that.
Great. That's awesome. Well, we have a bit more time. Are there other things that people would like to talk about, or questions you have about meditation or about the technique? Uh-oh. Nothing? Are you all really relaxed? But you also could be shy. So if that's the case, you can type into chat if that's better. Well, then if there aren't any questions about meditation techniques, was that a question? No. Okay.
No,
I thought
it was
somebody
just
was
a comment.
indicating. Huh?
It was just a comment that when I find myself getting tensed up, if I just stop and breathe slowly, I think it triggers my mind to remember during the meditation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've met people for whom that is true, that when they get into a tough bind, if a tough situation where they're tensing up, then the reaction is to allow the body to relax, the shoulders to come down, and so on. So that can be these types of conditioned responses can be trained into us over time. It takes time to get to that point, I think, but it's worth doing.
I have
people
one more question, and maybe this is more, I guess it's a personal question. So I guess maybe dealing with some hearing damage due to the 90s and too many concerts.
I understand.
And so I like have tinnitus, and it's just, that to me has been something that can just, well, it causes many things, right? It can be raise anxiety, but it also, for quiet sitting meditation, it's just screaming at me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So has any student ever come to you or spoken with Rinpoche about something such as that?
Yes. People have come to, in fact, someone asked Mingyur Rinpoche about this. And he said that it does vary from person to person. It varies from person to person. He said, so for some people, he said the constancy of the tone, if it does not fluctuate, if it is always the same, he said you can use it as the object of your meditation if it always is the same and never fluctuates. But he said there's also the problem that arises when a person develops antipathy toward the sound. And then that makes it impossible for a person to change their thoughts about that sound. And that they always think of it as something that doesn't belong there and something that should be gone. And so I think that every person is going to have to make their own way with that. I do have a friend for whom tinnitus is such a problem that he went to the Cleveland Clinic and got fitted with special hearing aids, so that were noise canceling, that he could actually so that he could tolerate the tinnitus. And yeah, I can introduce you to him. He really benefited from this approach, because for him he could not take a different attitude toward the sound. It was just too much. I had hearing loss also because of the 90s, but not because I went to concerts. It was sitting next to a loud Tibetan horn playing for 2 years. So it's mostly on the left side, which faced the horn, And but for me, the sound is very comforting. It has two tones. There are two tones in it, but they never fluctuate. They never change. There's always a high tone and a medium tone. Never changes. And so in a way, I can understand why it's a problem for people, and that if technology is necessary to help you, like running a white noise generator in your meditation room, or running a fan in your meditation room in order to cancel the sound of the tinnitus, and then use the sound of the fan as your object of meditation. There are several different things. I can't remember. I'm going to call on Lama Tom and Lama. Can you remember Khenpo Rinpoche being questioned on tinnitus? I just remembered what I heard from Mingyur Rinpoche. Tom, you're muted. Yeah.
I can't remember anything that he specifically said. I can, from my own experience, I have major profound hearing loss in one ear and have tinnitus too.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like Lama Kathy says, it depends on the individual as to how you handle it and what's the best technique. For me, I consider it the idea background, foreground. So it's like if there's a function of my mind that can make something either background or foreground.
Mm-hmm.
And so I pay attention, am I making this foreground? Do I want it to be foreground, or do I want it to be in the background? And so over time, I don't notice it in meditation, although it's there. Mm-hmm. It's in the background. I don't know if that helps at all, but it's how I've dealt with it over the years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
You know,
really,
I forgot that I also had an experience in retreat with sound and tonight with this, and I did ask Ricochet, and he told me that if it wasn't too painful, especially at night, I couldn't sleep because of it. And he told me just to rest in that. And so I started having great sleeps after that because I relaxed with it, but mine wasn't painful. So that is the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, Lama, you're in a way, by resting, you're allowing it not to be in the foreground. It can just be there. I think what we're saying is similar.
Yeah. That I really appreciate the foreground background, and foreground background is something that is a mysterious idea to those to people who are new to meditation. How can anything be anything other than foreground, right? So it's all like right here, right now. And I was having a conversation the other day with someone, and I compared it to the foreground and background is sort of like the difference between looking at a window and then looking at the tree on the other side of the window. There's this idea that there's something always behind our experience. And at first it's kind of mysterious to us as to what this is behind all of our experience, but then eventually we have a sense of being able to let the foreground fall and then just be with the mind as it is. And that is a place where we can eventually go in meditation, which is what Lama was pointing toward when Rinpoche, by sharing what Rinpoche had to say, was rest in that. The words rest in that sound mysterious when we first hear them, but they're not so mysterious after we learn about even if we just let the mind rest once, even if we just only accomplish it the one time, then after that, it's like, it's there and it's a potential. And I'll be talking about that tomorrow because I'm going to give the second lecture in this series tomorrow evening on confidence. And it's going to be about the confidence in oneself and the confidence in the method of meditation and what that confidence teaches us about our experience. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow night. We have just a short period of time left before the top of the hour. If there is a pressing question, if someone has?
Check the chat.
Oh, it's in chat. Thank you, dear. Can't see too well. How do I make meditation a priority? I always feel like I have too much to do and I won't get everything done if I take time to meditate. And yes, and then someone else is asking if these sessions are being recorded, and the answer is yes. So yes, so you can. We'll talk about where they and when they'll be posted, and we'll see if we can't get that put together in the next day or so. Lori, I completely empathize with your situation because part of what we were saying at the beginning, at the top of this hour, is that our lives are so incredibly jammed and so incredibly busy, and we're impressed by everyone that we have to be productive, get a lot done. And so then what happens is that our minds get a little bit pressured and frantic. I remember reading an article in that great scientific journal, USA Today, about what causes incidents of road rage, where people get angry at each other on the road. And the one psychotherapist that they interviewed said that it comes from frenzied thinking that arises from our lives being too busy. So that I'm keeping that in the memory bank, because that's an amazing thing. So this is one of the reasons that meditation can help us with our emotional state, is because our bodies and minds are really pretty well wedded together. And so as a result, when one affects the mind, it affects the body, and when it affects the body, it affects the mind. So Lori, what I like to do, what I like to say in answer to questions like the one you have, which is really, really a pragmatic question, is first, take a moment to look at your day as a whole. And then look for spots in your day when there is relatively less going on. For example, it might be right after I had a friend who's the space, because I had her do that. And she said, I got it. It's right after I put my children on the bus every morning for school. Then I come back, I open the paper, you remember newspapers, and I drink a cup of coffee. And I said, there's your meditation time. That's the spot for you, is after you put the kids on the bus, because you already have a break in your routine, a break in the day, and you can fit in maybe 5 minutes of meditation. I said, just put the paper aside, get your cup of coffee, take it into your meditation room, and then drink a couple sips of coffee, do some meditation, drink a couple sips of coffee, do some meditation. And it helps. And I don't know, Lori, if your day, if you could, if do you have the potential to look at your day like that? You may have to unmute. Lori? Uh-oh. I don't know. Don't have a microphone. Okay. Oh, thanks very much. Do you have like a space in your day when you might be able to fit maybe 5 minutes in? Yeah. Okay. The other thing you could do, some people do it right after they wake up. If they don't have children or pets who need them immediately, they do it right after they wake up, before they even get out of bed. I have met people who actually meditate for 5 minutes in bed before they even get out of it. They consider it a nice segue into their everyday thing. And then there are other people who do it right before they go to sleep. Other people do it when they get home. But as to how to make it a priority, here's the thing. When we look at our day, we see all of the things we do to take care of ourselves. We make sure we get our meals. We make sure we brush our teeth. We make sure that that we get some sleep. And so if we can make meditation something that we're doing, not just for ourselves, but for others, I think this is incredibly helpful. Because if we're doing meditation just for ourselves, then we can maybe goof off, take a day off, take a few days off. But if we're doing it for the benefit of others, then it's more about our relationships with others, and it helps our relationships with others. So yeah, try that. Okay, you're going to try that. Okay, I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you can come to some more of these and let us know how it's going. It says, I have cats. Oh yeah, I will try meditating after they get their breakfast. Now there's a good idea. Now what you might also experience, and Marilyn, you can attest to this, because you have a cat, right? Kim has a cat. Lama has had cats. Everybody who has had cats know that when you suddenly stop paying attention to them, they are all over you. Well, Lori, since you have lived with that many cats, I bet you $1 that that once you just like stop, they will probably like touch you and, you know, and try to encourage you. And their touch can be part of your meditation. You can just look. I mean, really, because it's just what's going on right now. You can be with their presence. You can be with their purring. I mean, you can just be with any of these things and just keep coming back and don't see the cats as cat nap time is also a good time. Oh, there's another person chiming in. Yes, absolutely. That's great. And I see we're almost at the top of the hour, and Leona May has asked to say, may I share something to help get me started? Sure.
It's similar to your idea of looking at the day, but that I find that if I attach things to things I already do, it really helps me, and to remember that it doesn't have to be a long period of time. So for me, with starting meditation practice, I worked where I answered the phone a lot all day at my job. And so whenever the phone rang, I would breathe in, and then I would breathe out, and then I would answer the phone. And I still do that now. It's been decades, but that was how I started working it into my life.
That is amazing. What a great story. Because it reminds me of Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Zen master. He practiced that. He called it telephone meditation. He said when the phone rings, he said, don't answer it. Not on the first ring. He said, take a breath, put a little smile on your face, and then pick up the phone. And I used to do that when I worked in an office. So good on you. That's great. Oh, fantastic. Oh, I'm so glad. Yay. You're happy with starting the marathon like this. Well, then let's run over just another 2 minutes and meditate for 2 minutes. Okay. So we can say you can add it to your total, because if you go into your profile, you can actually log how many minutes you meditate. So you're going to add 2 more minutes right here, right now. Arranging the body in the posture of meditation. Taking the 1 deep breath, breathing out, holding the wish to meditate for the benefit of others. We'll just do a very short 2-minute meditation. Okay, thank you. And thanks again to everyone, to the members, friends, and the leadership team at Columbus Karma Takes Controlling, and all the organizers of this event, and all of you for joining in and being part of it. You can invite your friends and donors to come to these as well. They will be receiving the invitation as well. And tomorrow evening, we'll be starting at 7 p.m. and we'll be addressing the topic of confidence. On Monday, Lama Adam is going to talk about courage and the courage to change our lives. So it's a very Tibetan thing at the end of a meditation to dedicate it. So we're going to make a mental dedication and dedicate the goodness from our session to the entire world and all the beings in it, and make the aspiration that all beings are free from suffering, come to quiet, and become awakened to their own goodness. Okay, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining. And if you have other questions, you can write to us. Questions about the marathon or at marathon at columbuskTC.org. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care, everyone. Om Mani Padme Hum.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.